This video is brought to you by Squarespace, a platform for building your online presence and selling your products all in one place. Hello everyone, welcome back to the episode 3 of Crochet Keychains. I hope you guys are waiting for the comeback of this series, and here we are. For this episode, I wanted a messy, chaotic, but aesthetic vibe. So I made these keychains especially to pair with the bags that we carry daily. They turned out really cute and I made 5 of them. They are all actually easy and simple to make compared to my previous episodes of the series. For these keychains, I think the color plays an important role. You can play around with the color and test out the different combinations. Before we start our tutorial, I want to quickly talk about our today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you ever thought of offering services like one-to-one crochet lessons, crochet market consultations, you can easily do them using Squarespace. You can set up a beautiful, customizable site in minutes, which will showcase all your offerings in a very professional way. One thing I really like is that you can do all of that even if you're not familiar with running a website. You just have to do some minimal changes like changing the photo or adding some titles and descriptions that relate to your business or service, which is also very intuitive to do because of their drag and drop feature. On top of that, if you also want to sell digital and physical products, they have already prepared gorgeous templates, professional layouts, and also content suggestions. You just have to choose the design that you like and keep adding the sections or blogs to customize the site in a way that you like. And here's a sample service page I prepared as a crocheter. It took me around only 15 to 20 minutes. It turned out really cute and professional, plus it was very easy to make. So if you're ready to grow your business online, start with a free trial or go to squarespace.com/chubbiesbyash to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now let's start our tutorial. These are the materials you're gonna need. These are the crochet abbreviations. Now we're gonna make the star, and you have to start with the magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your 2 fingers to get the X shape at the bottom. On the top there will be 2 loops. Bring the back loop through the front loop and make chain 1. This is how I usually make magic rings. So after making the magic ring, we're gonna make 10 single crochets into that magic ring. After 10 single crochet, pull the yarn tightly to close the round and insert your hook into the very first stitch that we made and make a slip stitch into that stitch. So we have finished round 1. To start another round, make chain 1 again. Insert your hook into that stitch again that we made the slip stitch into. Make 1 single crochet. After that, go into the next stitch. Before that, we're gonna mark that first stitch with a stitch marker. Go into the next stitch and make an increase in that stitch. And then we're gonna start the sequence again. Make 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 increase in the next stitch. So we're gonna repeat that 1 single crochet, 1 increase sequence for a total of 5 times all the way until the end. When you're finished, we're gonna join with a slip stitch, and here this is the previous slip stitch we made. Do not insert your hook into that. Go into that stitch with a stitch marker and make 1 slip stitch into that stitch. Now we have finished round 2 and we're gonna make round 3. For round 3, start with chain 4. Insert your hook into that second chain from the hook. Into the next chain, make 1 half double crochet, and into the last chain, make 1 double crochet. After this, skip the next 2 stitches from round 2, go into the third, and make 1 slip stitch. So we just follow the pattern in the bracket above, and we're gonna do that all over again. So start again with chain 4. Into the second chain from the hook, make 1 single crochet, make 1 half double crochet into next chain, and 1 double crochet into the last chain. Skip the next 2 stitches, go into the third, and make 1 slip stitch. And we're gonna repeat that for 3 more times. When you have finished the last one, when you skip 2 stitches, the third one will be the slip stitch. But this time you have to insert your hook into the slip stitch and make another slip stitch. It's fine. After this piece, we're gonna cut the end. Now you have to make another one like this, and this time do not cut the end after the second one. I finished making the second one, and I'm gonna cut those yarn tails from magic ring so that they don't get in the way. Now we're gonna join these 2 pieces together. To do that, we're gonna place the round sides of each piece together. The round side is this side with the tail from magic ring sticking out. Place the 2 pieces like this, and we're gonna crochet each and every side of these points together. So when we crochet them together, there are 2 sides in each point of the star. The first side is the side with these lower parts of the chains, and the another one is the crochet stitches we made, double crochet, half double, and single. So for the second piece, we're gonna start from these lower parts of the chain. So I made chain 1 first, insert into the first lower loop of the chain, go into the double crochet in the first piece. So here, this is a slip stitch we made. Do not confuse it with the double crochet. You have to insert into the double crochet first. After that, make 1 single crochet. Go into the lower part of the chain on the second piece, into the half double crochet in the first piece, make 1 single crochet. Go into another lower part of the chain, and then into the single crochet in the first piece and make 1 single crochet. Now we have connected the right side and we can go to the left side. Before that, we're gonna make 2 chains and then go into the left side. This time you have to start from the single crochet, go into the lower loop in the first piece like this, and then make 1 single crochet. Go into the half double crochet into the lower loop of the chain, make another single crochet, go into the double crochet and lower loop and make another single crochet. So this is how we join these 2 pieces together using a single crochet, and we're gonna do that for all the 5 points of the star, and I'm gonna show you one more time. So when we jump to another point of the star, you don't need to do anything about those slip stitches in between. We're gonna ignore them. We will go directly into that lower parts of the chains and into the double crochet and start the whole process again to join these 2 together. Just like that, continue until you have joined all the points. If you want to, you can also stuff lightly into the body of the star. When you are finished, you will see the slip stitch in between the 2 points in both pieces. We're gonna insert our hook into both slip stitches like this and make another slip stitch. After that, chain 1 and cut the end. Weave in all the remaining yarn tails. So now we are finished making our very cute little star. Now we're gonna make the heart. You have to start with a slip knot. For the row 1, make 3 chains first. Starting from the second chain from the hook, make 1 single crochet. Make 1 single crochet in another chain. So we have finished row 1. To start row 2, chain 1 again. Turn your crochet piece, insert into the fast stitch and make 1 increase. In the next stitch, make another increase. And we have finished row 2. To make row 3, chain 1, turn your piece. In the fast stitch, we're gonna make 1 increase. In the next 2 stitches, we're gonna make 1 single crochet into each. And in the last stitch, make 1 increase again. Now we have finished row 3. Row 4 is also very similar. Make an increase in the first and last stitches, and for the stitches in between, just make 1 single crochet into each. For the row 5, you just have to make 1 single crochet into each stitch. Now we're gonna make row 6, and here in the row 6 again, make 1 increase into the first and last stitches, and for the stitches in between, just make 1 single crochet into each. Now we're gonna make row 7, chain 1, turn your piece, and make 5 single crochet. We're just gonna leave this row halfway. After 5 single crochet, we're gonna make row 8, so chain 1, turn your piece. By using the first 2 stitches, make 1 decrease. In the next stitch, make 1 single crochet, and by using the last 2 stitches, make 1 decrease again. So we have finished row 8. For row 9, chain 1, turn your piece, make 1 decrease by using the first 2 stitches, and in the next stitch, make 1 single crochet. After that, you can cut the yarn. Now we're gonna crochet the part that we left. We're gonna leave that 1 stitch in the middle. We will only use 4 stitches. Leave that stitch in the middle. Go into the next stitch, insert your hook, and bring the yarn. Make chain 1 first. Insert into that stitch again and make 1 single crochet. And make 1 single crochet into next stitches. You're gonna get 4 in this row. For the row 2, chain 1, turn your piece, and we're gonna make 2 decreases. When you're finished, you can cut the yarn. So now we are finished making the first piece for our heart. We're gonna make another piece like this, and this time do not cut the yarn. We're gonna join them together just like we did with the star. Now I finished making the second one, and we're ready to join them. Before that, I'm gonna cut the ends that I buried under the stitches. If you didn't do that, you can just weave in the ends. To join these two together, we have to place them in the exact same way. What I mean by this is that we have two halves where the one is slightly bigger than another. So The bigger one must be placed against the bigger one, and the smaller one must be placed against the smaller one, just like this. So we're gonna join them together with single crochets. So to begin with, chain 1 first, and insert your hook into that decrease row that you just made. You can insert it in any way or any loop that you like. It just has to be the side of the row. So insert into the same place in the first piece as well. So when you have inserted your hook into the two opposite sides like this, make one single crochet. Now we will go to the second row. Insert into the side of the second row and in the first piece as well, into the side of the second row. Place a yarn tail over the hook so that it is buried under the stitches and make one single crochet. And after that, we'll go to that stitch that we left in the middle. Insert your hook in the both pieces and make one single crochet. So now we're gonna go to the second half of the heart. Insert your hook into the side of the first row and make one single crochet. Don't forget to carry those yarn tails under your stitches. Now you can go to another row, insert your hook in the both pieces and make another single crochet. So now we can go to the last two stitches we made in the second half. So this time we will insert into the crochet stitches the single crochets in both pieces and make one single crochet together. Go into the second stitch in the first piece as well. Place those yarn tails over your crochet hook and make another single crochet. After that, we can now go back crocheting into the sides of each row. So this is how we're gonna join these two pieces together. It may seem a little bit confusing at first, but once you get the hang of it, it is actually very easy. And I don't know why, for me it is very satisfying to crochet alongside the rows. Maybe because the sides are uneven at first, and when we make a single crochet like these, they become even and looks neater and cleaner. Maybe that's why. So just like that, we're gonna join these two by crochet the sides together all the way until the end. And if you want, you can also put some stuffing inside before you finish. So when you have finished crocheting into each and every row, insert your hook into the very first stitch that we made for joining and make one slip stitch into that stitch. After that, chain one and you can cut the yarn and weave in the ends. Now we have finished making our another very cute 2D heart. It is finally time for our Miffy. We have to start with the magic ring, slip knot. This is a slip knot. After making the slip knot, make 5 chains. Insert your hook into the second chain from the hook and make 1 increase. You can mark the first stitch with a stitch marker if you want. Insert your hook into the next chain and make 1 single crochet. Make 1 more in another chain. And in the last chain, we're going to make a total of 4 single crochets into that same chain. After that, go into the lower parts of the chains, which is just next to the 4 single crochet cluster. Insert your hook like this. Place your yarn tail over the hook and make 1 single crochet. Go into the next loop, make another single crochet, and in the last lower loop, make 1 increase. After that, insert your hook into that very first stitch and make 1 slip stitch. So now we have finished round 1. To start round 2, make chain 1. Insert your hook into that same stitch we make the slip stitch into. Make 1 single crochet. Mark the stitch again with a stitch marker. In the next stitch, we're going to make 1 increase. And we're going to start again with 1 single crochet. After that, 1 increase. So we're going to repeat that 1 single crochet, 1 increase sequence for a total of 6 times. At the end, make 1 slip stitch into the very first stitch as usual. Now we're gonna make round 3. Make chain 1. Insert your hook into the first stitch again, make 1 single crochet. Mark with a stitch marker. In the next stitch, make 1 increase. In the next stitch, make 1 single crochet again. So we have completed our first sequence. We're gonna start again with 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and 1 single crochet. So this is our sequence we are repeating in this round, and you have to repeat for 6 times as well. At the end of the round, connect with a stitch mark or a slip stitch. Now we're gonna make round 4, chain 1. You have to start with 3 single crochet. After 3 single crochet, make 1 increase in the next stitch. After that, we're gonna start again with 3 single crochet and 1 increase. Again, 3 single crochet, 1 increase. After repeating the sequence for 3 times, we're gonna make 4 more single crochet, just like in the pattern above. And after this, we're gonna start making our first ear. To do that, make 8 chains first. After 8 chains, start from the 3rd chain from the hook and make 1/2 double crochet. In the next remaining chains, we're gonna make 1 double crochet into each chain. So this is how it would look like at the end. And when you're finished, skip the next 2 stitches go into the third and make 1 single crochet. Make 1 single crochet in the next stitch. After that, make the second ear again, just like we did with the first one. Skip 2 stitches, go into the third, make 1 single crochet, and in the last stitch, make 1 single crochet. When you're finished, connect with a slip stitch into the very first stitch, and you can cut the yarn. Just like the previous pieces, you have to make the second piece, and after the second piece, do not cut the yarn. Now I finished the second piece, and we're gonna join them together by placing the round side of each piece together. The round side has the yarn tail sticking out in the middle. We're gonna place them together like this. In the second piece, which is connected to the yarn ball, we're gonna start from the very first stitch of the round 4. So which is just next to or before the slip stitch. In another piece, count the third stitch from the ear. 1, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so count the third stitch from the ear, and this is where we're gonna start. So make chain 1 first in the second piece, insert into that first stitch of round 4, insert into the stitch that we marked, and we're gonna make 1 single crochet together. So this is very similar to what we did with the previous keychains. Go into the next stitch, also in the first piece, and make 1 single crochet. So just like that, we will crochet the 2 opposite stitches together at the same time and join them with the single crochets. But for the ears, we're gonna use the slip stitches, and I'm gonna show you when we reach to that. So to join the 2 ears together, we're gonna use the slip stitches. It is because I want to keep them small. I don't want them to be any bigger. But if you want bigger ears, you can just use the single crochet. So to start, insert into that lower loop of the chain for the first ear that you see. For the second piece, you have to insert into that double crochet stitch, just like that, and make 1 slip stitch. Go into another lower loop of the chain, into the double crochet, make another slip stitch. This is quite similar to what we did with the stars. So we'll keep doing until we finish with this side of the ear. You're gonna get 6 slip stitches because we have 6 stitches in the ear. Before going to another side, make 2 chains. This time go into the half double crochet, and then in the second piece, go into the lower loop of the chain and make a slip stitch. So just like that, we're gonna make the slip stitches together until we reach back to the bottom. So now we are finished with the first ear, and for the middle 2 stitches, we're gonna make 1 slip stitch into each opposite stitch, just like this. Insert into the bow stitch and make 1 slip stitch. And for the second ear, we're gonna repeat what we did with the first one. And in the last 2 stitches of the head, use the single crochets to join them. At the end, we're gonna connect with a slip stitch. You can now cut the yarn and weave in the ends. You can also embroider the face using the black yarn, separate it into 2 strands, and embroider using a darning needle. For me, I happen to have these very little oval-shaped eyes that I have been wanting to try for a while, so I'm gonna use them and glue them on the face. In the middle, I'm gonna make an X shape to do the mouth. And by the way, here this Miffy is made with a different yarn, same pattern. I used a very thin chenille yarn and a 3mm hook. So now we are finished making our very cute little Miffy. Now we're gonna do the flower. Start with the magic ring, and in the magic ring you have to make 10 single crochets. And in the last stitch of this round, we're gonna change to a different color, and I will show you how. So now I'm about to do the last single crochet. We're gonna get the new yarn ready. So you have to make the single crochet as usual, but when you pull the final loop, we're gonna bring the new yarn instead of the previous yarn. Pull the yarn tail to close the magic ring. And with the new yarn that we changed, insert your hook into the very first stitch of the round and make 1 slip stitch. So now we're gonna start making the flowers. So for the first one, the first petal, make 12 chains. After 12 chains, skip the next stitch, go into the next one and make a slip stitch. We're gonna make the second petal, make 10 chains. Skip 1 single crochet on the magic ring, go into the next and make 1 slip stitch. For the last 2 petals, follow the pattern above and make them. In the last petal, insert your hook into the very first slip stitch we made to join the magic ring and make a slip stitch into that slip stitch. For the round 3 of the flower, we're gonna make 1 slip stitch into each and every chain that we made. So they're the chains we made. We'll insert into each and every chain like this. So in the first petal, we made 12 chains. So we're gonna get 12 slip stitches from that. These chains can get twisted when you're making slip stitches, so be careful to not get them twisted. So now we have finished the first petal, and To go to the second petal, you just go directly into that first chain of the petal. Ignore that slip stitch in between. We make 10 chains in the second petal, so you're gonna have 10 slip stitches from that. And just like that, we'll keep going into all the petals all the way until the end. When you're finished, we're gonna cut the yarn, also the green yarn, and we're gonna bring the yarn tail into the middle, into the center of the magic ring. We're not gonna weave in the end here because we only have that tiny magic ring in the middle to weave in all these remaining yarn tails. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them really short, and I'm gonna cut this felt cloth into a tiny circle shape, and I'm gonna glue it on top of these yarn tails to hide them and to secure them. So now we have got our very cute doodle flower. Now it's time for the last one, messy string. We're gonna use the 2 yarn colors. So we're gonna make the slip knot with both of the yarns that we are gonna be using. Just the regular slip knot, but with the 2 colors. To begin, we're gonna start with only 1 color at a time. To start, you can pick up any color that you like, brown or white, it doesn't matter. But when you wrap the yarn around your hook, we're gonna wrap from the front like this, not the way we regularly do, but from the front like this. So after wrapping the brown yarn from front, we're gonna pull through the white yarn. But before that, we're gonna place that brown yarn on top of the white yarn. Like this. So the yarn that we are gonna pull through must be under the yarn that we wrapped. After that, we're gonna pull through the white yarn. Pull the white yarn through the 2 loops on the hook. And starting from this point, the 2 loops that you're gonna have on your hook must be the same color. In another way, you have to wrap the yarn that you pull through. So it cannot be brown yarn, and if it's brown, it will be different color. So we're gonna wrap the white yarn again to get the same color, the same 2 loops on the hook from the front, and place it on top of the yarn that we're gonna pull through, this time the brown yarn. After that, pull it through the 2 loops. Now we have the brown yarn on our hook, so we're gonna wrap the brown yarn again to get the same color loops on the hook. Place it on top of the white yarn and pull it through the 2 loops. Wrap the white yarn again, place it on the brown yarn and pull it through the 2 loops again. So there are only 3 things. Wrap the yarn from front, 2 loops on the hook must always be same color. The yarn that you are gonna pull through must always be underneath. And that's it. And this way you can keep going until you get your desired length for the string. And when you work with 2 yarns, they're gonna get twisted like that. And when it happens, just string them, just spin them gently like this, and it would come entangled and you can keep going. So I got about 4 or 5 centimeter long string and I stopped there. So I'm gonna cut the ends. And there are two tails from white and the brown, and we're gonna tie them together to secure them. And now we're gonna tie this string into a fancy knot. I tied it using the snake knot method, I think. You can also find another knot tutorials on the YouTube and tie it in any way that you like. So now we have finished making our very cute, messy and aesthetic crochet keychains. You can style them any way that you like. I hope you guys loved making them. They are actually quicker and easier to make compared to my previous crochet keychain episodes. So I hope you guys loved making them. And we will see each other again in the next video, or maybe episode 4 this time. Bye bye and happy crocheting!